Welcome back. I am Lou Whelan, and I'm sitting here with Sam Bass, Vice President of Sales for the Kerley Family Homes, a father and son-owned company that's been in business for 10 years. And before they started their own company, they have, over 50 years of home building experience. So they are and operating in a interesting window, you might say, of prices between 150 and 500 mostly, or even 400.
Yep.
And some people might say, well, how can you build a new home for that price and make any money, stay in business? You can always do it, but how do you stay in business? So how do you do it?
Well, there's a couple different building models that most builders go by, and I've had the benefit of working for several of them. You can either command a higher profit margin on every house and sell fewer homes. First of all, you got to price it right. So whether you're selling 150 in an area town or 175 in another, or 200, all that comes down to the price of the land. So if we buy it right, then we can build and sell to the market and know that it's desirable because of the price point. But when you see the volume, I mean, for the last 3 months, we've been averaging around 60 sales a month, 60, 65, somewhere in that range a month, which is pretty good considering this is typically the time of year in June, especially in July, that a lot of people take time off, go on vacation, they can cool down before school starts back on their purchasing, and we've been able to maintain some good direction with our sales. And a lot of I think the philosophy here is keep a profit margin doesn't have to be the biggest, that's also not the lowest profit margin per home, but something that will give us volume and allow us to sell more, close more, and that's part of our philosophy.
Okay, so you've sold 413,000 sales homes last year.
413.
413,000. Your goal for this year was 450,000, but since April, and not in a kind of a slow period, you've been averaging 61 to 65, which is about a 50% increase over the goal.
That's correct.
So I hope they pay you a lot of money for doing that kind of growth.
So part of the growth is, part of our being here with the company and starting our sales team may be employees of the company. That was a break from what we'd been doing years past. The last 10 years, we've been independent contractors. When I came to work here, it was with the understanding we were going to bring the brokerage in-house, hire employee agents to work for the company, and to start building that momentum. So it's twofold. One, we want to get rid of any inventory we have that's either finished or approaching completion, because the more inventory you have that's done, it costs you money. That's the first target you want to do. And then secondly, you want to build backlog, because right now we're in the middle of July. Another 30 days into August, approaching September, what we can start and physically close this year is we're at that point. So everything we're selling pretty much from this point forward is teetering on whether we get it closed this year or it starts building backlog for next year. Okay, so in order to get that 450 with what we brought into the year this year, selling ahead of what we close is important. You got to have some backlog in order to be able to hit those numbers.
Well, nobody wants to go back into what we experienced back in 2010 and 11 and 12, and
True.
A lot of the builders will tell you that one of the problems that they experienced was having an oversupply of spec homes.
Very true.
And so, are you building? Are you building spec homes?
We do build spec homes. I don't think we are building to anything like the level that was going on at that time. We try to keep about 4, maybe 5 inventory homes on the ground in every neighborhood. It could be more than that in certain neighborhoods that really sell it and the cycle's going well. If it's not selling that great, then maybe we'll cut it back to 2 or 3. But we like inventory. Atlanta is an inventory market. It's not like Florida where you can pre-sell a lot out ahead. People that are looking to buy here need something either with the time frame for relocation, school, moving up, moving out. There's reasons for people wanting to buy and having something that's under construction.
Yeah, so the getting back to the idea of land, I mean, back during that period of time that we're referring to, 2010 to 2012, land was very cheap. You could really get some bargains on land. And maybe the first thing that maybe occurs to me is maybe you guys were out buying land at reduced prices. Put you in a good position.
There's no question.
Sell homes at this price.
Some of the ones we have right now, no question, we benefited from that period of time, just like Acadia did when I was with Acadia. I think we made part of our success was being that builder that would come in and complete the neighborhood that was left by a previous developer or builder. Mm-hmm. So we've got some of those. We're finishing up a handful or more right now at Kerley. And it is definitely a different era because land is not like that anymore. And if you go out and develop new land, you're not going to be able to buy it for $5,000 or $6,000 a lot. You're going to develop it for like 25 or 30, which makes the price go up. Mm-hmm. So it's a different time.
So tell me, this is a leading question and not a loaded question at all, but I know a lot of people will wonder, including me, actually, what do you get for more money than what, in other words, if you're paying $250 mm-hmm. versus say $500 for a house. I think the average price sold in Atlanta was $280 or something like that for the first 6 months. I had the figure here earlier. So what do you not get, or what do you get? What are they? What's the difference really? Anyway, what can you expect to get from a $250,000 to $300,000 new home?
Yeah, and the higher the price, typically you get more features. You get a higher quality of feature than maybe you get in the high ones or low twos. Hardwood floors, maybe upgraded cabinets. Usually the areas of people want to see some type of upgrade in is in the kitchen, the master bathroom, and the flooring. But, a big item that's been good for this market for a while, the last several years, has been exterior as well. Taking those decks and making them covered porches, maybe screen porches, areas where you can enhance your exterior kitchen, if you will, by having a grill area out in the backyard or off the deck. So you just get more whistles and bells the higher the price is the way we look at it. If I look at my River Rock neighborhood in Forsyth versus my Montclair, which is also in Forsyth, the difference in those two is a little bit more square footage, a few more available options, like for flooring being more standard than being options for the higher price.
Mm-hmm. So what is the trend now is for kitchens? I know kitchens and baths are the key things. And what are some of the trends in kitchens and baths now?
No, I think the gourmet kitchen that we used to call a gourmet kitchen is kind of the standard now. It's just, what kinds of appliances you're putting in them, what kinds of granite that you're able to, what kind of cabinets. Is it a lot of the light color cabinets are out, a lot of the darker color, richer cabinets are in, whether it's that darker kind of a chocolate color, or if it's a darker colored stained cherry or maple or something like that. Mm-hmm. Cabinetry's big, and countertops is also big, with also flooring.
What kind of countertops are people using now? That's trend. Is it granite still? Or?
The granite's still big. The silestone, the granite. I'm sure there's some other versions of that I'm not even aware of that we're using, but just giving more options available to the buyer. One of the things we're doing to help make that more of a profit center for us, which again helps to the bottom line of the growth, is having a freestanding design center, standing alone from. A lot of builders have done this. We're kind of one of the last ones to probably do it, but it gives more options to the buyer to come in and select flooring, carpeting, plumbing, light fixtures that they want. It's not the standard.
Okay, when we get back, I've got another question that along that line, and that is square foot. Well, how much square footage can you expect for different price points? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.